Okay, boy, it's really bright, isn't it? Let me turn some of these down. Okay, everybody, here I am again. I've been getting some emails and requests from you guys on the THC stuff. First, we're going to start with something fun, and then I'm going to go in and show you what I buy and how to dose it and everything. I always mess around. I found these cool, and I don't have a sponsor. This is just something I found. And for even your caretakers and you with ALS, they're these cool little kitties, okay? And they're very lightweight, and you squeeze them. And I use them just to exercise my fingers, so there's not a lot of stress on them. And I think it helps, on the cramping and stuff. And they're just too cute. I love him. I keep him there. And then I found out about these nice cubes. They're awesome, and they're a cube. Now they're a little heavier, and they're a different consistency, and I really like these for exercising your hands, for stress. With ALS, a lot of times we have a lot of anxiety. This will help that. It'll help your fingers. If you still have movement in your fingers, just do that a little bit. And I like it. I happened to run across those, and I thought, you know what, for ALS people, that would be great. Okay, we're going to start. Let's start with the hemp gummies. These hemp gummies, and again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is just stuff I have. God's grace has had me help and find. These are, I don't know if you can see that good. They're by Energized Premium Hip Gummies, 180, whatever. I don't even pay attention to that. Made in the USA. They're little bears. I started getting these off an auction site. A friend of mine said, hey, you can get CBD. And this is like years ago when I started, about 7 years ago. And I used to get these off the auction site, and they actually were helping me. So when they dropped the auction site, I found them on Amazon. And the best way to buy them is if you buy 3. And I think it's like, I can't remember how much they are. They're like around $60 or under for 3. And there's like 60 of them in here. I've started, I've been on a whole one for 7.5 years. But when I upped my meds, I was getting a little too much. So now I cut these in half, okay? They're just a little, this is a new jar. It's hard for me to get in there sometimes. I have to get a knife. They're just little bear gummies, and you just cut them right in half, and you take 1/2 of those with your THC gummy. These with the THC really work well together. They each do different things medically into your body, and I think it's the two together that does the best bang for your buck. Now, you can buy THC that has CBD in it. I buy them separate because of the way I like to dose them. I do my own dosing. I do my own changes. And with ALS, you're changing all the time. You're dosing your change all the time. So this is what I would recommend. Let's go to the cream. This was Mary's transitional cream. I don't know if you can see that good. This has one CBD and one THC in there, and it says it's 2.0 full ounces. Okay, it's a little white cream. It's just about empty because I've been using it. I will say this, I love this stuff. Now, I've had ALS for 8 years, so I take stronger stuff than maybe you need. I don't know. When I started, I think on my video I said when I had been bedridden, I got that polyp in my nose. I had regular just CBD cream that I put up my nose and got rid of the polyp, and I started getting more energy and got out of bed and I've been doing better ever since. So the CBD cream works really well. I mean, and I think you have to mess around with the CBD or the hemp. I use a little of both. I tend to go more hemp, I guess. I think one is from the seed and one is from the plant. So it's just whatever your body likes. But when I got the cancer, I bought the stuff with the THC and the hemp. Now I have tried this in my nose one day where I felt like that maybe I needed a little extra because we had to go somewhere, and I have to say it worked great. Um, so that's, I guess, a personal thing. I would probably start with the plain CBD. And, if you take these gummies, but if you're having, I call ramping, is if you're cramping up a lot, if you have no energy, if you're just having all kinds of problems, I would just stick your finger in there, stick a couple little things up your nose, and boom, you're going to feel so much better. Okay. Um, okay. On THC gummies, these are called fruits. Now, with ALS, I have taken the pineapple ones and I have taken the orange ones. Now, these are sativa. Okay, I want you to write this down. Sativa is an upper, I guess. It's the one that gives you more energy. It makes you more awake. It's the one that people take to get high, I guess. But I've never gotten high on these because I take them with my hemp gummies, and I take a half of one now of these. They're just little, I'll have to show you them. They're like little cubes, and I just cut them in half. Little discs is what they are. They're kind of sugary, but these are what I took for 7.5 years. Now, I started out with 1/4 of a little round gummy, okay? And that's what you can do with maybe a half of the hemp gummy. And try that every 6 hours around the clock and see if that's helping. Now, if it doesn't seem, I've had people try it and they say, well, I don't feel anything. Well, you're not going to feel anything, but are you feeling better? Are you not cramping up? Are you not choking as much? Is your voice sounding better? Okay. Um, I don't feel like I take anything. I take these all the time, but I have no pain. I'm not cramping up. I still choke a little, but not a lot. And um, it, like I said, all these people are all this pain around me. I'm gonna do one of these THC things for my park in the fall because so many of them are in so much pain and stuff. And I have to say, you don't have a lot of pain. If you have pain taking these, that pain is super, super bad, just to let you know. Okay. I'll show you a couple of these in a minute. I should have had them out. I don't want to open these yet. These are what I'm taking now. Let me pull these little things off. These are sativa, and they're 100 mgs, okay? And the ones I'm using these are Arizona gummies. These are pure, they're called pure. And I have to say, these are awesome. They're little, let's see if I can get into this. I should have got some that I already had open. Um, okay, these come like this, and that's like 10 mg's. There's 10 gummies, and it's 100 mg's. So this is 10. So I take 5. So these have a little thing, and you just pop them and twist them, and now you have 2 doses. Okay, so you can get 20. um, so for you that take the half a gummies, these are awesome. Now this sativa is much stronger. My boyfriend even commented, I would get up in the morning and my butt was dragging. I mean, I was slow. It took me till 11 to get up. Sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed, but then when I did, I functioned okay. When I started on these gummies, and I thought, okay, after 8 years, I'll try this new gummy during the day. Holy cow, I started cleaning my house. I hop out of bed. I take these at 8 in the morning, and boom, I'm up. I've got my housework done. I do all my stuff. It's a miracle. It really is. But the problem is with this Arizona gummies, they're a little strong. So, I mean, they're working great. I don't feel high. I love this energy, this burst of energy. I haven't had this in years. Okay. So, I've been taking the California gummies. That's the ones I showed you, the fruit gummies. Now, your local dispensary may have their own gummies. You're looking for 100. Like I said, these are like you want 100% gummy, and you want it 100 mg's, okay? And you want sativa, because that's going to help your fatigue help your fatigue. Now they have a hybrid bread gummy, and that's THC too, but hybrid is a middle of the road. It doesn't give you too much energy. It doesn't relax you too much, okay? So that might be good for some of you that just got diagnosed if you don't want to clean your house every day, or mess around with both of them. I've always been on the sativa since I was diagnosed, okay? And I've even slept with those California sativa, so I would probably recommend sativas the first time. The hybrid you might want if you go with the pure brand that makes you a little more awake, or if your natural brand in your state or whatever makes you more awake, then I would probably buy a couple cans of hybrid and try those at night to sleep with. I take these, when I started, I took them every 6 hours, even through the night. Okay. And I slowed down my progression. I've done very well with them. Now, when I got that cancer, instead of upping my dose of a half a gummy with a half a gummy of hemp, that's what I take now. I take them every 4 hours instead of every 6 hours. So in a 24-hour period, instead of getting 20 mg's, I'm getting 30. Okay. But I'm in my 8th year, and I'm battling, I've got my cancer in remission and my ALS. So I need to be up a little bit. But you can mess around. These gummies, I found a doctor in California that showed all the different types of marijuana and how long they stay in your system and everything. And the gummies I like because they're easier to dose than smoking. You can have more control over your meds you're taking. Number 2, they stay in your system 4 to 6 hours, okay? So if you take these every 6 hours, you have this medicine in you 24/7. And that's what I think's happening is it fights the proteins from attacking the nerves and the muscles. Now, I could be wrong, but when I got my cancer and found out that it keeps proteins from attacking the cancer cells too, I thought, you know what? That could be why, because I've always wondered, why does it stop or slow down progression? Okay. So those are the kinds that I take. And like I said, any gummy you get, you just cut it in half. And I don't know where you're at in your ALS. If you're already having trouble with canes and stuff, I would maybe start, with a fourth and a half, and try that a couple days. If you don't feel like it's helping cramping and everything, then you can go up to a third and then work yourself up to a half. Okay. The thing is, all our bodies are different. Yours is different than mine, and even the marijuanas are different. Okay. California marijuana is entirely different than this Arizona marijuana. Like I said, taking this Arizona during the day is like a game changer for me with energy and how much better I'm doing. Um, and just buy a couple. I bought a couple boxes when I changed, and the one I took, I didn't like. I didn't like how I felt. I just didn't feel right. When I took the other one, it's like, wow. It's like I felt more awake. I felt more alert. I felt 100% better with the other one. So I don't, the one didn't work, the other one did. So don't just, I've had people just take the THC. I've had people just take the hemp. They try it one day, they quit. No, you have to dose yourself. You have to find out how your body is going to accept this. That's why I say start out very low. So if your body doesn't like it at all, okay, don't take it. If you take it and you think, wow, this is helping a little, but I think I need a little more, then, like I said, you shouldn't have to go more than a half a gummy and a hemp gummy together. Okay. Hemp oil and CBD oil, I will tell you, if you get too much, it will affect your heart and your blood pressure. Okay. So if all of a sudden you notice on your vitals that are a little different, back off a little on the hemp and the CBD, and that should fix it. That's what I do. That's how I know when to adjust my hemp and stuff. It's by my vitals I take every day. So, so I hope this helps. And also the CBD cream or the THC CBD cream, I put that on little growths and stuff on me, and they go away. I mean, that stuff's awesome. And like I said, I was pretty gutsy sticking it in my nose, but you know what? It was a game changer for me also. So, like, if all else fails, you're taking these and you're having a super bad day with ALS that day, try that in your nose and it may turn your day into a better day. Um, ALS affects us all different. And these meds, affect us all different too. But like I said, the big thing is figuring out if there's indigo too. Indigo is something that makes you sleep a lot, super sleepy. Right now, I'm messing with the hybrid and the indigo at night and trying to figure out which one I need because I was waking up every 4 hours. So at 8 o'clock, and this is what I mean on dosing yourself. You have to, it's forever changing. I take my pure gummies that make me more energy, but then at 8 o'clock, I might take the California gummy at that time because that doesn't, or I tried last night, and I got some indigo ones and I tried one. I have to say, I started falling asleep at my computer. So, I mean, and I slept really good. And my body wakes me up every 4 hours for the meds and to go to the bathroom. It's pretty awesome. And so when I wake up, I look at the clock. If it's time to take meds, I have them right by my bed. I just pop a couple in my mouth, put my mask back on, and go back to sleep. But my mornings are so much better. I'm not so fogged up and, you know, crampy and everything in the morning. So taking them all night is really a game changer too. Well, I think that's it for today. If you have more questions, I will try, but I will tell you all I take no other medicines. I've had people ask me that too. God, prayers, THC, hemp, and a BiPAP. That's all I do for my ALS. Now, I do have some sulflaxin, which is an antibiotic. And if my BiPAP stuff shows high, then what I do is I take a sulflaxin a few days, and then that usually helps get it more normal. Or if I notice my voice is getting really raspy, I really think that the saliva gets in our lungs and our voice box, and that's what kills our voice box. I could be wrong, but I'm still talking, and I've been doing this, monitoring myself and taking these off and on for 8 years, and I'm still talking. So, um, just try like what I do. This is, like I said, I'm an 8 year. I will go over to a casino. I will have fun. I'll go out to eat. I'll go to concerts. I climb stairs. I can't climb all stairs. It's the weirdest thing. Stairs I've always climbed like that normal distance I can do, and then I've gotten other stairs where I can't. They're just off, and I can't do it. It's weird. So I did find some stairs over there, that are big stairs that I go up and down just to exercise a little bit and see if I can do it, still do it, and I can. And then after I go out a few days, when my boyfriend comes and then he goes home, I just sit at the computer and I would do research on ALS and different things and do these little videos. And I have streams I watch and games I play and clean my house. And I do have little activities here in my park. I do sometimes like karaoke. I'll go listen to them sing and be around people. I always say I've got to have my people days. So, anyway, the other thing is to keep your stress levels down. Again, we have these and we have these, and if you need those, do them for stress. But the worst thing that will make your ALS go and ramp is stress. So keep your stress down. I think the gummies help that too. I feel I don't get as upset over things that maybe I would. I don't know. And with ALS, that's a thing that you get upset or easy, I guess. I don't know over stuff. But let me tell you on the difference. I guess I should tell you this too. I was lucky enough that I got a hold of that lady in Florida on her YouTube channel. I found her, Kathy Jordan, and she was already in a wheelchair. She was already, having some voice things, and her ALS had progressed quite a bit. And that's when her neighbor brought over marijuana that she smoked. She smoked it, okay, 2 times a day. She swears that it stopped her progression, and she is alive over 30 years later. The only person I know with ALS that's lived that long, okay? And she doesn't have a feeding tube. She's not on invasive breathing. She's still in her wheelchair. She's still where she was when she started the marijuana. So this is what I tell people. When you get your diagnosis, you have to start this right away. You don't wait until you can't walk anymore, because even if you take this marijuana then, you're still not going to walk anymore. It's going to help your pain and you may not get any worse, you know, but that's something I have to say. And see, my deal after studying her, I was lucky because I'm not lucky, but I mean, I knew it was already in our family. So I knew I had a 50% chance. So I have spent my last 15 years researching ALS cures and searching ALS stuff and how people have done and watched people, how long they lived, what did they do. I mean, believe me, I have done my research. And my thoughts were, because I didn't know if my family would get it, from, me passing the gene on. They have a 50% chance. So I thought, you know what? The best thing I could do is I'll be my own guinea pig here. I'm not going to go through any of these other things. I'm going to do my own thing. What have I got to lose? And so I started when my mom got her cancer and was bad, I went and got her some THC with hemp gum. I'd never bought gummies in my life, but I gave her a few to help with her pain and stuff. And when she died, and I had anxiety losing her and how she died and everything, I took a few of those, or a little bit of them, and it helped my anxiety. I thought, wow. And I had decided after finding Kathy Jordan that if I got diagnosed finally, that I was going to take these gummies, okay? Well, I was falling down. Gosh, I had a boot for both legs. I was dropping cans on my feet. Oh my gosh, I was breaking things. I went through 5 keyboards because I kept knocking stuff over. My voice was starting to get bad, everything. And I had already gotten my testing and knew I had 2 genes. I had the C9 and an ALS2 gene. Now, they don't know anything about the ALS2 gene. Goody, goody. So, I mean, I'm in uncharted territory anyway. So I decided, when they diagnosed me, I went to California and bought my gummies, and I had my little hemp. I think I started out with hemp oil. So you could do the oil or the gummies, I guess. But I started out with hemp oil and that. And that was 7.5, 8 years ago. And when I was going to my voice things, it was funny because a lady says, "Your voice is so much better today. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I started all my gummies and stuff here a week or two ago." And she says, "Well, I don't know if you need to come here if you're going to take those and your voice is going to be good." So I mean, there's been some weird stuff taking these. So I started mine early on. Like I said, I started with a 1/4 because I'd never taken these. I didn't know how my body was going to like it. But our bodies had I can't even say the word, cannabinoids or whatever they call them in our bodies. And as you get older, you lose it. So our body's used to having this type of thing in our body. Okay. And I have to say, my only side effects, and with ALS is perfect, and with cancer is, I have to say, sometimes, I mean, I have absolutely no appetite. I would never eat. I don't want to eat. I don't have it. And when I take my gummies, I think I get a little bit of the munchies maybe, and I even take them an hour before I'm going to eat if we go out to eat. And then if I smell the food, I'm able to eat it. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how it is. And so then I go through and I get a little bit of everything and I try it and eat as much as I can. And sometimes I can't eat anymore. There's like a weird something that stops everything. It's weird, and other times I can eat more. So anytime I can eat like that, I eat as much as I can. Because maybe next time I have 5 bites and I can't eat now. I deal with that. So I mean, I'm not perfect. Somebody said to her, "You're on a reversal." I guess if you're bedridden and you've been sent home to die, maybe you can call that a reversal. I don't know, but I'm affected. I mean, the things that were affected with me before I started these gummies are still affected, okay? Um, and I walk. I have a thing on my phone that shows you want a low number. Okay, so I try to standard 10, and it's how your feet walk together and how steady you are. The last couple days, mine's been up in the 20s, and I notice I wear shoes that are super lightweight because my left foot sometimes shuffles if I'm tired, okay? So what you have to do, everybody, is you can't just, take the gummies and think everything's gonna happen. You have to change and pay attention to what's going on with your body, kinda monitor yourself. Um, That could be because I did a little more than normal. You know what I mean? Why my things were up high. I question it. If I have my breathing's up too high, if I'm, you know, if my walking's up too much, it's like, okay, what did I do this week? What did I do? And then I try to fix it so that it's not that bad. And that's what you have to do. Okay. If you go out and run a mile and you cramp up all night, you can't run a mile anymore, hun, with ALS. And if you do, you're going to be in a wheelchair a lot sooner. Okay. What you want to do is pace yourself. You know what I'm saying? And instead of running a mile, maybe go for a walk, a few blocks, see how that works. If you don't have any cramps, then fine, you're doing good. Add a block, until you can work up. Um, I've noticed that over the years with people is they just run their bodies into the ground and they die so much sooner. So be positive. I don't like that when they diagnose us, it's a death sentence. I'm here until God takes me home. I don't let any doctor tell me I'm going to die. I've had people tell me 3 times I'm going to die, and not until God calls me home am I going to. And so have a positive attitude. Find things that make you happy, low impact stuff. Little things in ALS make big, huge differences. Okay. So I hope this helps you guys, and we'll try to do another video, and I hope something in here helped you. I mean, I just do this. I'm not doing this to get a million hits or anything. If I find 1 or 2 people, just like Kathy Jordan, I was this crazy person trying to find a cure or find to do something, anything, and found her videos and watched them and watched them. And then I went and found this lady that was diagnosed in marijuana in California that explained, I mean, smoking it, patching, how everything stays in your system. Gummies stuck out to me because they stayed in your system the longest. So I'm always a good bang for my buck. I'm going to get what's going to stay in me longer. So anyway, thank you. And hopefully I can edit that beginning out when I started. But if I can't, we get what we get because I don't know how to do all this stuff. Thank you and God bless.